Jarrett Stidham is the quarterback. He's coming out of Auburn. He's entered the 2019 NFL Draft. And before we get into an analysis of Jarrett Stidham, you got to get to know him a little bit. There's a couple things you should understand as context for his season and as context for my film analysis. The first thing you got to know is the people around him were not very good. His teammates, oh my goodness. I felt legitimately bad for Jarrett Stidham. And I try to remove emotion when I watch film. The amount of dropped passes I saw when I watched Jarrett Stidham's film, oh my goodness. There were deep passes dropped. There were short passes dropped. There were touchdown passes dropped. Touchdowns dropped. It is awful. Drop after drop after drop after drop pass. It's like, are you kidding me? I felt so bad. Look, his receivers couldn't catch the ball. Often his receivers struggled catching the ball. He had a guy, number 18, who occasionally made some good plays. Also, his offensive line really struggled. Ton of missed assignments. Guys were badly beaten at the line of scrimmage. It was a mess, man. The poor guy was under duress all the time. And Auburn's offense did not execute things well. These are not his fault. These are a lot of things out of his control. Many times they would lose a lot of yards because of a missed assignment or because of poor effort. That's not Jarrett Stidham's fault. Jarrett Stidham was not the problem with Auburn's offense last year. You also got to know his offensive scheme did not help him very much. He ran a very prototypical college offense, which means a lot of screen passes, a lot of very simple reads, easy completions. All these things did not help prepare him for the NFL. The offense he ran is a hindrance and will affect him in the NFL. I don't know if it'll affect him, but what it does is it limits the amount of NFL throws he makes. So when you evaluate Jarrett Stidham, you got to be aware of all the dropped passes, the bad offensive line, the college offense he played in, the schemes with the simplified reads. And you got to kind of sift through all of that and go, okay, how do we determine, is he a good NFL quarterback or not? What can we find? And I think you can. It's enough, but he's a weird prospect because some things indicate that he could be a really great quarterback in the NFL, and other things are concerning. If you wanted to be this guy, you could build an argument for either side. And that's what we're going to do. You could build an argument for why Jarrett Stidham could succeed, and you could build an argument for why he's not going to be a good NFL quarterback. Again, the team around him was awful. He made the best of a bad situation, and he ran a simple offense. But he made really good decisions. In spite of the weird offense, in spite of this and the simple completions, he did his job. He did a really good job putting the ball in the right spot. He was patient. He worked all the way through his reads. He made more good plays than bad plays. He threw the ball away at times. He would check down. These are all things you like. You like a guy who doesn't force the ball into coverage. I mean, I think he literally threw 5 interceptions all season last year. That's pretty good. And that's a solid argument. You can say, look, Jarrett Stidham, from a decision-making standpoint, makes good decisions. You could say that is why he will succeed at the NFL level. But here's what concerns me. Remember that simple offense? What that means is he's usually throwing to wide receivers who are wide open. He was not challenged when it came to completions. And in fact, the times he was challenged, he did not often throw the ball into tight windows. He could not complete those passes. When the pocket's clean, when the offensive line is fantastic, when receivers are wide open, he's great. It's very easy. However, when there's pressure in his face, his accuracy declines. When he's about to get hit, his accuracy drops off a cliff. And then you see this. There's a throw against Washington. It's a really small window. He's late, and the ball is high. He does not throw the ball and fit it into the tight window. It's a late throw. The ball goes over the guy's head. And because of the offense Auburn ran, he had fewer opportunities than most other college quarterbacks to make NFL type of throws. He had limited opportunities to show NFL scouts, hey, I can fit the ball into tight windows. And the sad thing is when you watch film, he did not capitalize on those opportunities. He regularly did not succeed. When you watch Justin Herbert, the quarterback at Oregon, there were throws last year you go, oh my goodness, there's a corner against Cal. That is an NFL throw. He did it all the time. However, that's at Oregon. That's a different quarterback, Justin Herbert. Jarrett Stidham does not regularly make NFL throws, does not regularly fit the ball into really tight windows. There's a throw against Tennessee. He had an opportunity to throw the ball throw a hole shot, which is where you throw the ball behind the corner and before the safety can come across the field and make the play. He missed it. He didn't hit it. Dang it. That's one opportunity he missed. He really raises questions. Can Jarrett Stidham beat man coverage at the NFL level, where the windows are smaller, where receivers are not wide open, where they're open by a step or 6 inches? Now, I found 2 examples last year where he threaded the needle. 2 out of he had 14 opportunities all season, about 1 a game, and he completed 2 of them. They were both against Mississippi State. One was on a comeback. It's deep down the left sideline. It's a really tight window. That's a good throw. The other one was a deep pass on the right sideline. He did exactly what we said. He fits the ball into a tight window down the right sideline. That's fantastic. So look, when you watch him, you say, there's a chance he could succeed at an NFL level. He makes good decisions. He's willing to throw the ball away. He throws to his checkdowns. He does a far better job at going through his progressions than some of the other quarterbacks in this draft class. The problem is he's not a top talent because there's not a lot of great NFL throws. There's not a lot of good throws into tight windows. He's got an average arm. And if he was a top NFL talent, here's my problem. Here's where I can't get myself to buy into Jarrett Stidham. If he was a top-level NFL quarterback, a first-round quarterback, it would be very, very obvious. And it's just not. It doesn't stick out to you on paper. The difference between a third-round quarterback and a first-round quarterback is really not that great. I believe he could become a good quarterback. A third-round quarterback is a guy you believe could become a great NFL quarterback. And a first-round quarterback is a guy you believe is a good NFL quarterback. There's a difference in preparedness. Jarrett Stidham needs to sit. He's roughly a third-round quarterback. He needs to sit behind a really good quarterback and develop. I think he could succeed again. He makes good decisions. That's the baseline you need to be a good NFL quarterback. But can he make throws into tight windows? We didn't see a lot of it in college, and that's concerning. He had some great moments. There was a comeback against Texas A&M. It's the best thing I saw on film from this guy. His comeback against Texas A&M, his wide receivers made good plays. He had good throws downfield. He led them back from behind. They were down 24-14 with 5 minutes left. They won the ball game. He did that with his arm, and the receivers caught the passes. That's fantastic. I love that. But he's not ready to play. Jarrett Stidham needs to sit. He needs to learn behind a really good quarterback. And if he does that, there is a chance he will be successful in the NFL. I just want to say thank you so very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports, and it is my favorite thing in the entire world. I love it. In fact, my dream is to someday do Strong Opinion Sports as my full-time job. If you believe in me, if you believe in that dream, please help me grow by telling your friends about the show. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. Maybe you screenshot it, maybe you put it on Instagram. It does me a huge help if you can tell your friends about Strong Opinion Sports. Another way you can help me if you want, no pressure, I have a PayPal, paypal.me/Zach Schaumler. I also have a Patreon account, patreon.com/Zach Schaumler. It does me a huge help if you want to. Really, if you have no money to give, no problem, please. The number one thing, if you want to help Strong Opinion Sports, the number one thing you can do is help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast.